Clara, you've got some serious explaining to do right now. I mean, what is up with this lunch you packed me? Are you trying to starve me to death or something? Besides, isn't this just leftovers from yesterday's dinner? Glad to know you care enough about me to cook me something fresh.
Oh, Ryan, I really am sorry about that. I was just so busy this morning, I hardly had any time to make something fresh for you.
You're telling me that you're a housewife who can't even do the most basic of duties for her husband?
Ryan, I really don't think that you're being fair to me right now. I mean, just think about everything that happens in the morning. First, I have to go and wake up our children, get them out of bed, and make food for them. Not to mention everything else I have to get ready for them, and you, before you all go out for the day.
There you go. So you admit that it's your job to get everything ready for us before we leave, and yet you just chuck last night's scraps into a Tupperware and try to pass it off as making me lunch? It's not like you're even doing anything in the daytime. I don't get why you can't just make me something different then. Surely you have some time to do that while the kids are at school, right?
Well, maybe I could if we split up the housework just a little bit more.
And why in the world would I do something like that, huh? You know that I go to work to put food on our table and keep the roof over our head, right?
Of course I know that, and I really am grateful for all that you do for us. But can we at least acknowledge that I'm having to do all of the housework and child rearing all by myself, right?
Well, duh. That's kind of what being a housewife means. You really want special treatment for that?
So you're saying that I don't have any right to ask for help at all? That's why you think you can just order me around like this?
Man, you just are full of stupid things to say today, aren't you? I'm asking you to do the bare minimum when it comes to providing for your family. You're the one asking me to do more work on top of already going to a full-time job where I do provide for my family.
Well, what about the stuff with the kids? Surely we could split that up just a little more evenly, don't you think? After all, you are their father. They're your kids too, you know. Don't you think you should be trying to spend more time with them and doing more for them?
I watch over them now and then, don't I?
Honestly, you barely even do that. Anytime I ask you to watch the kids so that I can do the shopping or something, you just sit there and play on your phone. And even this last time when I asked you to watch Bridget, you were asleep when I got back. How can you say that you watch the kids when your eyes aren't even on them in the first place?
Oh, wow. So I guess I'm not allowed to feel tired or fall asleep anymore? Is that what you're telling me? You? Who just sits around the house doing nothing all day until we all get back from school and work? You've got some nerve talking to me like this.
I don't do nothing all day, and you know it, Ryan. I don't get what's happened with you. You used to cook dinner for the family, and you used to love spending time with the kids. You even used to help me clean up around the house.
That was way, way early in our marriage. Which is to say that it was when you were a lot prettier than you are now. But now all you do is nag at me and try to kill me with your horrible, lousy cooking.
Well, if you think that I'm the only one that's gotten older, you might want to go and look in a mirror.
That's exactly what I'm talking about when I say that you're always nagging me. You really think you're making things better for yourself when you talk to me like that?
Oh, please. I'm only saying what you're saying to me. Don't be a jerk.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot that I'm always the bad guy and every little thing is always my fault, isn't it?
I don't even remember what we were talking about, but you should know that I'm really starting to reach my limit with you. You have no idea how hard it is to take care of you and the kids all at the same time.
Take care of me? Did you really just say that you're doing that for me? You really are delusional if you think that's what's going on.
And what about cooking for you all the time, or any other thing you order me around to do? It's not like you don't know how to do these things either. You're just too lazy to do anything yourself.
Well, I've already told you that I work and that's why I don't have time for any of that. You're the one with all the free time on your hand and that's why you do all of that. Don't you know anything about being a housewife? Oh, what am I talking about? Of course you don't.
There you go, trying to put me down all the time. Why do you always do this, huh?
Oh, please. I'm not doing anything. You're just being way too sensitive. The fact of the matter is that the housewife does the work in the house. That's how it works. Don't try and drag me into doing your work for you just because you're too lazy to do anything yourself.
You just really don't seem to get it, do you?
What I get is that I've let you get away with whatever you want. Do you have any idea how many people are in our same positions and don't complain about it? Anyways, I'm gonna go out and buy some lunch for myself, if you don't have anything else to say to me.
Well, what about the food that I packed for you?
Yeah, that's all sitting in the trash can right now. Next time, actually put some effort into what you make for me. Got it?
Well, either way, we're still not done here. I still have things that I want to say.
Well, I don't have any more time that I can waste on you. You've already taken up enough time of my lunch break.
Hey, Ryan, what time do you think you're going to be home today?
I'm gonna be home late. Got a problem with that?
No, but do you mind if I ask why? Are you doing overtime or something like that?
No, I'm out eating right now. And I'm having some beer with my meal too. Have anything to say about that?
Wait a second. You're out right now? But I told you that I had a cold, didn't I? I really would like to rest.
I know you're sick. That's why I'm going out. You probably haven't even cooked anything for us to eat, have you?
Well, I actually just fed the kids their dinner, and there's plenty left here for you too.
Oh, I see. Well, whatever. Why would I go home when I might catch whatever you have? You really are clueless sometimes. Do you know that?
But I haven't had a chance to rest at all. I've been awake all day, and I'm only putting the kids to bed now.
Well, then go and do that. Why don't you go to bed yourself while you're at it?
Ryan, I thought you said that you were going to come home early tonight.
And why would I even bother coming home when all you do is ask me to do stuff around the house if I do? Huh? You wish that I would come home early, but it's not gonna happen.
Ryan, please. My fever is really, really high. I feel absolutely terrible right now.
Oh, please. It's just a little cold. Calm down. Everyone gets them. You're not that special. Just take some medicine and go to bed. You'll be fine. Besides, I've gone to work with a fever all the time and nothing bad ever happened.
Did you really do that? You just don't care about anyone but yourself, do you? I just want to spend some time resting at home. Is that really so bad?
Which is basically your way of telling me that you want me to do everything around the house for you when I come back from work, isn't it?
Please, Ryan. If you just help me out a little, I promise that I would get better quickly.
You know, the whole reason why I tell you to work is for your own good. Besides, if I did all the work that you do for me, what would even be the point of having you around?
What do you mean? Please tell me that you're not being serious about that.
I mean, what is even the point of having a housewife who is barely a wife and barely does anything around the house? You think I wanted to marry some shut-in who complains about every single little sniffle?
You mean that you only want me in your life so that I can take care of our kids and clean up after your messes?
You really are thick sometimes. You know that? How many times are you going to make me say that the housework and child rearing are your job? What is even the point of having you around if I'm going to have to explain to you over and over and over again? Just think about it. Why in the world would I want to be married to someone who didn't do everything that I ordered them to?
But then, what's even the point? Is that really the whole reason you and I are even married in the first place?
And she finally gets it. Maybe now, you can finally take the next step of doing your work without me having to tell you all the time. And staying healthy is a part of your job too, you know. You really think the whole world's just gonna stop just for you?
Well, I think that I might have gotten whatever this is from Bridget, and I think that someone from her school gave it to her.
Yeah. You can't blame your husband for this one, so you blame your kids instead. I'm glad you have enough time to think of all these excuses. Anyways, can we finally be done with this stupid conversation now?
Ryan, aren't you even worried about me? I feel really awful.
Are you going to die? Is this cancer? Are you on fire? No? Then knock this woe is me crap off.
How can you act like this when all I'm asking for is a little help? I mean, isn't that what husbands and wives are supposed to do? We're supposed to be there for each other. Besides, you said that you were going to come home early when I told you that I was sick. You said that you were going to watch the kids for me. Don't you remember that? I don't think you've ever done a single thing for me in my entire life.
Are you really getting this upset just because I don't care that you have a head cold? You really are just not going to let this go, are you?
I can't believe that you're treating me like this. You're horrible. Do you know that?
You're really starting to piss me off. Do you know that? Give me a break already. You need to open your eyes and realize just how lucky you have it. I would have never married you if I had known that you were just going to sit in my house, eat my food, use my money, and then have the nerve to not ever do anything for me. How about you try making as much money as I do, and then try to talk to me?
Okay, Ryan. You and I are going to talk about what's going to happen from here on out.
What in the world are you going on about now, huh? What is it this time?
I am sick and tired of the way things are, and I am not going to stand for this anymore. You never do anything around the house, and you always make fun of me. And on top of all that, you hardly ever spend any time with the kids, too.
So let me guess. You're about to tell me that I have to do all the work around the house from now on? You really have some nerve, you uppity housewife. I thought I already told you you don't have any right to complain until you make as much as me.
Oh, I remember. That's exactly why we're having this conversation right now, actually. As of this month, I make more money than you do, Ryan, and that is why I want to get a divorce from you.
Wait, what? Did you hit your head or something? What are you talking about? You don't make more money than me. I mean, you're too busy taking care of the house and kids to be able to even find time to work.
Well, I worked hard to make time, so what do you think about that then, huh? But I never stopped doing the work that I was doing. I just made time by cutting back on my sleep. And for the past 3 months, I've been working hard at studying how to make money. And all my hard work is finally paid off.
You mean that in the last 3 months, you've managed to learn enough to find a job that earns more than mine does? You're such a liar. It isn't even funny anymore.
Are you sure about that? I would always send you a copy of my pay stub if you don't believe me. Then you'll see that I'm not lying. What do you think about that?
So then, you really do have a job now?
That's what I'm telling you. And you did say that all I had to do was make as much as you, right? And then you would finally listen to what I had to say to you.
Okay. Hold on just 1 minute. I don't know what you're up to right now, but we're going to talk about this at home.
I'm afraid that we won't be doing that, actually. I'm leaving the house today, and I'm never coming back.
Clara, please, just calm down so we can talk about this a little, okay?
Oh, I am very calm. And the fact of the matter is that we are getting divorced, and there is nothing that you can do about it.
But divorce is serious. We need to talk about this before just deciding to do it. Please, let's just talk about this when I get back home.
There really isn't anything to talk about at all.
Okay. I get that maybe I was leaving a bit too much of the housework for you to do by yourself.
That isn't even a conversation to be had. It's just the truth. And no matter how hard I tried to explain that to you, you wouldn't listen.
Clara, please. You can't do this to me. Are you really just gonna go? Hold on. I'm going to come back home right now. Just please wait there for me, okay?
Ryan, I want you to hurry up and sign those divorce papers that I sent you.
You mean you still really want to go through with this? What about the kids?
Now you want to talk about the kids? Give me a break. You want to try and fight me for custody? Well, good luck with that. I can't think of a single judge that would ever entrust the kids with you after I tell them how you never did anything for them.
You're right. I've been so mean to you. But it's not going to happen again. So, please, just come back.
Ryan, you really just don't get it, do you? It's over. We're going to get divorced, and there's nothing you can do about it.
But why? I already told you that I'd spend more time with the kids and help you out around the house. What more do you want from me? Whatever you want, I'll do it. Just please don't leave me.
You were so helpful when we had our first child, but when we had our second, it was like you lost all interest. Not just in being with them, but in doing anything around the house. And you put it all on me, bit by bit. Instead, it was like I was raising 3 kids all by myself.
But I only asked you to do what I thought you would be able to do.
How can you say that when I told you over and over again that I was struggling with everything that I was doing? I told you all the time that I couldn't handle the housework and taking care of the kids, and that I just wanted a little help. And instead, you just put me down, accused me of making up excuses or faking sickness. You acted like you were king of the world, all because the work you did was outside the house. Well, it's too late to fix it. I've made up my mind, and nothing is going to change it no matter what.
Please, don't do this. Don't say that.
You don't have any more power over me. No matter what you say, what you offer to do, it isn't going to change what's going to happen. I've hated living with you, and now I am going to end this. I am finally going to be free of you.
Clara, please don't do this. I didn't mean to push you so hard. It's just that the stress of the job was getting to me. I was just jealous of you because you got to stay at home.
And that's only because you got it in your head that I wasn't doing anything at home. Even though I told you all the time about all that I was doing, you just weren't listening to me.
And I shouldn't have done that, and I realize that now. Please, you have to come back. The house is filthy, and there's no one here to clean it. Now I finally realize all that you were doing for us.
No one to clean the house? Aren't you forgetting about someone? As in, yourself?
But I never noticed how much you did because you always made sure that the house was clean before I got home. And I hate being so far away from my kids, too. Every time I come home, there's no one here. It's so lonely.
If you ask me, I think you deserve it.
But how am I supposed to live without you? Please, I promise to never treat you poorly again. It won't ever happen. You have to believe me.
Even the children say that they don't want to see you anymore. So if you're just going to keep begging me to come back like the pathetic worm that you are, I think that we're done here.
You mean you're just gonna leave me like this? Please, I still have so much to talk to you about it. You can't do this to me.
I'll say one more thing to you and that's it. Sign the divorce papers or else I'm going to get lawyers involved and it won't get pretty. After that, I didn't call a lawyer, but I did call Ryan's parents as well as my own and explain to them what I'd been going through and why I was divorcing Ryan. At first, his parents didn't believe me, but after I showed them the text that he would send me, they support my decision fully. They called Ryan and shouted at him to sign the papers and quit dragging the process out. During the divorce proceedings, I made sure that I got full custody of the children and that Ryan would have to pay child support. He begged me to at least give him visiting rights, and I told him that I would think about it, but that I needed time. I moved back into my parents' house with my children and continued with my online job. I actually wasn't making as much money as I told Ryan, but I had a pay stub that included a bonus that was enough to convince him I was making more than him. After my months of working in secret, however, I was also busy completing training modules and told that I was up for a big promotion. That was when I knew it was time to leave Ryan. Soon, I'll move us out to a place of our own. But for now, I am enjoying having the help with my children from my parents, just like they enjoy getting to be so close to their grandchildren. And I, of course, am making sure we're not too much of a burden on them.
Hey, are you Brian's wife? Because I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to be taking care of him from now on. But you know that he's always such a wishy-washy guy, so I really hope that you don't blame him. Don't worry though, I'll make sure to make him very, very happy. Sorry, who am I speaking to right now? I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, right, I should have introduced myself first. I'm Brian's ex-girlfriend, Miranda. I'm also the person who he's dating the longest out of all the other girls he's known. I'm sure you've heard about me already. Your name is Miranda. I'm sorry to tell you this, but I can't remember Brian ever mentioning knowing a girl like you. Wait, what? You mean that Brian hasn't even mentioned me once? Well, that's still no problem. Maybe he just didn't want you hearing about how close we were as a couple because he didn't want to make you jealous as his current girl. He was probably just hiding me from you because he knew that you didn't even compare. Okay, you seriously need to slow down and stop all of this nonsense. So, your name is Miranda and you're one of Brian's exes, right? Just why are you even reaching out to talk to me in the first place? Why? Well, there's not any particular reason, I guess. I just wanted to know about what kind of girl Brian got with after him and I broke up. He can really have a really interesting taste in women from time to time, so it's my job to make sure that he's making good choices. And you think that that's appropriate for you to do as his ex? I think most people don't do that to people they used to date. I don't remember you telling me what I should and shouldn't be doing, thank you. We might have been broken up, but we're still good friends, and there's nothing wrong with that. All I'm doing is being worried like any good friend would, and I can see that he's picked a very surprising girl to get married to. I thought he would have married someone beautiful, and I have to say that I'm just shocked. And just what is that supposed to mean? Well, I only mentioned because I think I left quite an impact on his taste from when we were dating. I just thought that he would have married someone strong-willed and clever. Someone special, you know. But I guess he just ended up with some totally basic chick. Funny how life works like that, right? Well, I guess that I'm sorry for not being the girl that you expected me to be, but you did just admit that Brian did marry me. So I might not know just how close you two were before, but all of that is in the past, and I hope that you realize all of that. Oh, wow, maybe you're a bit more impressive than I thought. It's almost cute. But I can tell just from this conversation that you're the type of woman who is always trying to solve your husband's problems for him, right? I really, really hate those kinds of girls. You need to be more kind to Brian, but let him spread out his wings on his own, you know? I don't need you telling me how I should be treating my husband, thank you very much. Well, fine. Then congrats on getting married or whatever. Save my number just in case you need a hand with anything in the future. For instance, if you two get into a fight, you can just come to me and I'll make Brian feel better afterwards. After all, I know him better than anyone. And that means that I know how to calm him down better than anyone, including you. Hey, Brian, are you there? I was just curious if you know a woman named Miranda. I think that maybe you two used to date each other.
Miranda? No, I'm sorry, Im, but I don't think I've ever dated a Miranda. Though now that I'm thinking about it, I do have an old friend named Miranda. But we never dated or anything. But what made you want to ask me this all of a sudden?
Well, I think this Miranda girl that you know actually just reached out and messaged me. And she introduced herself as your ex-girlfriend.
Wait, really? That Miranda sent you a message?
She said that she was your ex-girlfriend and she was worried about the kind of woman you were married to. And then she went on to say a bunch of other rude things as well. She seemed to really be concerned about how her ex was doing, and she kept talking about you as if she knew you really well. I don't know, I think she was trying to flex on me as your ex or something like that.
Wait just a second. So then, Miranda was really telling you that we used to date?
That's what I said, yes. But now you're telling me that you two never dated, so I don't know what to believe. I don't like whatever is going on, and I just want the truth, so be straight with me, Brian.
Emily, I'll promise you that I'm just as confused as you are. Besides, I was telling the truth when I said that we never ever dated.
You mean it? You two were never a thing at all?
Oh, we were classmates together from middle school on, and even were in the same after-school clubs too. So we did hang out a lot and spend a lot of time together. Though she was always acting more like a fussy mother than she was a friend, you know. She was always trying to do things for me and take care of me.
So then, it sounds like you two were actually quite close then.
Oh, we were. And I will say that other classmates would tease us and say that we looked like a couple, but I swear to you that we did not date. I'm not even sure that she looked at me as a potential person to date. I always felt like she saw me as more her kid or something like that.
And you don't know any of other Mirandas from your past that might be lurking around?
As far as I know, that's the only Miranda that I've known. But we both ended up going to different colleges and didn't really keep in touch after that. And ever since then, I don't think I've ever met another Miranda. But I guess she was trying to use our old friendship to try and get something out of you.
But why would she come to me with this when I don't even know who she is? I mean, I've never even seen a picture of this woman. I'll be honest, I was kinda scared.
I'm sorry, Emily. I wasn't trying to make light of this. It's just a bad joke.
Well, I hope you don't mind me asking, but I have to know for myself. You promised me that you and Miranda aren't talking at all right now? And you haven't seen her since finishing high school.
I swear to you, since we both left for college, I haven't spoken to Miranda at all. Wait, that's not entirely true. There was one school reunion for middle school, where her and I were both there, but so were all of our other classmates, and there was so much happening that day that we didn't even really get to talk.
Well then, just why is she coming out of nowhere to bother me? I don't like it. It doesn't feel right.
I agree. It sounds like she's up to something, and I don't like it. I think you and I'll have to just be a little more careful for the time being.
Hello there, Emily. It's been a while since we've last talked, right? How are you? It's me, by the way. Brian's ex, Miranda. Hello, Miranda. Yes, it's been a while since you and I last spoke, hasn't it? May I ask why you're messaging me today? Well, I actually have a really big announcement I just have to tell you. I feel so sorry for you, but I'm overjoyed because Brian and I have gotten back together. And that means that he doesn't need you anymore, so you can just get lost. Excuse me? What are you talking about this time? I mean that I want you to divorce Brian from me right now. After that, him and I can go out and get married. So I'll give you until the end of the day to get all the paperwork done. Are you kidding me right now? Did you really just message me to tell me to leave my husband? And do you really think I buy that you two have gone back together? Can you just leave me alone? I don't have time for this nonsense. Nonsense? And just what makes you think that any of this is nonsense? I know that it's tough to accept, but it's the truth, and you need to face it. Because I am telling you the truth. Brian and I have really gotten back together. Although I always knew that he always still had feelings for me, so I'm not surprised at all. But it was him who came to me asking if we could get back together. Are you serious? You're telling me Brian searched you to be out with you? Well, I'm sure you noticed that this is the first time we talked in a while, right? The reason for that is because after we talked the last time, Brian reached out to me and asked if I liked to meet up with him. So we went out to a bar, just the two of us, had some drinks, and Brian used the liquid courage to confess his feelings for me. But again, I always knew that he'd never given up on me, so I knew it was a matter of time before this happened. I seriously doubt that Brian would ever go and do something like that. And I have no idea when he would have the time to sneak off to a bar to talk to you. Well, of course you wouldn't know about any of this, would you? I mean, do you really think that a husband would just tell his wife that he's going to go out and grab drinks with an ex? So then you're telling me that Brian kept all of that a secret from me and did actually go out to meet you? Not only that, but even though he has a wife, he still confessed having feelings for you. Yes, I'm afraid that you've described it exactly well. I tried to turn him down at first, but I didn't want to be a homewrecker or anything like that. I told him that he had to let go of a beautiful girl like me and just focus on his wife instead. But then he told me that he didn't care what happened to you. So when I realized that he wasn't going to be changing his mind, I had no choice but to get back together with him. Oh please, don't try to make it sound like you were forced into doing this. And know that I have no intention of hanging Brian over to you and all. Well, you say that, but Brian has already made the decision for himself. So I'm so sorry to ruin your marriage, but it's what Brian wants, and I don't think you have the right to deny him that. I seriously can't believe what I'm hearing right now. Well, it doesn't matter whether or not you do, because it's the truth and we're back together now. You're just in the way, so just get lost already. I just want you to know that Brian is here and is cracking up at all you're saying. What do you mean by that? I mean that Brian is laughing about you claiming that you and him got back together. His face is literally turning blue, he's laughing so much. Laughing at what? What are you even talking about? Brian is here with me right now. How can he be next to you? I'm sorry, but Brian is here with me, his wife. And we're actually on our honeymoon right now in Tahiti. What do you mean? I don't understand what's going on. It means that no matter how many times you tell me to leave Brian, it isn't going to happen. Anyways, we're going to be out of the country for a couple of weeks, so... So you two are really on your honeymoon right now. That's right, and Brian still hasn't stopped laughing at this business you just tried pulling. He remembered you well, but only as an old friend. Certainly not any kind of girlfriend. And the reason I knew you were lying about him meeting in a bar because he's sick after just getting a couple of drinks. Sure, we've had a few drinks here and there on vacation, but he would never drink to the point that he's saying things like what you said he did. Now, hold on just a second. This doesn't make any sense. How are you two going on your honeymoon when Brian has already taken me back? He's mine. He shouldn't be going on a honeymoon with you at all.
For the last time, Miranda, I'm not yours and we did not get back together. I don't know what fantasy world you've been living in, but you really need to wake up. But did you really think that I would ever want to get with a fussy woman like you? And some of the stuff you were saying was making me crack up so much that my stomach hurt. I mean, there was no way that you were being serious about that stuff, right?
How can you say something like that? I know that you're with your wife, so you have to be careful with what you say. But you confessed to me. You told me that you wanted to get together with me, and that's a fact.
Wait a second. What I told you was that I would always want to be your friend. You were the one who misconstrued that to mean that I wanted to date you.
You mean you just want to stay as friends?
But I don't get why you had to lie about you and I going out to get a drink. And yeah, I did reach out and invite you to a bar, but you left out the part where the rest of our middle school class was there. I invited everyone out to see if they'd want to catch up, but again, you totally warped what actually was happening.
No, this can't be happening.
And yeah, I had some drinks, but not many because I'm so weak. And because of that, I remember everything that happened that night. Though I will say that it was fun getting to hang out with everyone, and I was thinking about doing it more regularly. And yeah, we sat next to each other and talked, but I wasn't confessing my love to you.
But I could see the passion in your eyes. I could see all the memories we had come flooding back. That's when you knew that I was always the right girl for you. That's when you realized you were still madly in love with me.
No, not at all. How did you even get any of that out of what I was saying to you? I mean, we couldn't even get back together if I wanted to, because we were never even dating in the first place. I don't have any lingering feelings here, because they were never there in the first place. We never, ever had any sort of romantic connection. So I got no idea what you've been talking about.
No, that can't be true. You're lying, because you're with your wife.
I'm not at all. Even at the get-together, you were trying to tell me what to do, how to eat, sit up straight. You were just acting like you used to, and all it did was get on my nerves.
But I was only doing all of that because we were dating, right? I mean, everyone in school said that we were like husband and a wife, remember?
That was just what dumb little kids say. I was never once under the impression that we were dating. I don't think I ever could date someone like you, to be honest.
But why not? I'm beautiful and loyal, and I'm always taking care of you.
That's just it. You think you're all those things, but I never saw what you were doing as helpful. I always thought that you were just being way too fussy. And I was prepared to maintain a friendship with you, but now I know that's going to be impossible. Now, as my wife explained to you, we're on our honeymoon and don't want any unnecessary distractions.
Don't think that you've beaten me yet, you ugly sow. I haven't even shown you what I can really do. I will make Brian mine, do you hear me? I know him better than anyone, and I will make him fall in love with me.
What are you even talking about this time, Miranda?
I mean that Brian said he was going to try and hang out with our old classmates. Well, I am going to be at every single one of those meetups, and I will steal your husband from you.
Well, yes, he did say that he was going to try and make everyone hang out more often, but those plans have fallen, though. I'm afraid that you won't have any more chances to go after Brian anymore.
What do you mean?
Well, the plans fell through because Brian knocked me up while on our honeymoon. I decided to stop drinking when I started feeling weird while we were there. And I took a test when we got back home and it was positive.
So you're pregnant with Brian's baby?
That's right, and we're both overjoyed. But Brian reached out to his classmate and told them that he wouldn't be going out drinking while I'm pregnant. But all of his friends were very, very understanding, and said that they can't wait till they can all hang out together another time.
But this isn't fair. Why do you get to start a family with Brian while I'm just here, single?
I don't know. That's probably something you should look inside yourself to find the answer to. Either do that or go talk to a therapist.
Ugh, I hate you. I never want to hear from you again. And I certainly never want to see you as long as I live.
Deal. That actually sounds great to me, actually. Anyways, on that note, have a nice life. After that, I never ever heard from Miranda again. Brian, on the other hand, would still get messages from her asking if he wanted to go out and grab drinks with her. But he always told her that he wanted to be by my side in case I needed anything and avoided it that way. Brian even told me that Miranda started reaching to the other classmates, asking if they wanted to go out for a drink together. I hear she's basically blacklisted from any get-togethers now. Brian insists that she's a good person deep down, but just has a lot of issue. Frankly, I'm surprised that his heart is big enough to keep defending her. Either way, I just hope that one day Miranda wakes up and realizes the error of her ways. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.